Hello, everyone. Today, to make us all very happy, the topic is genetics. After all, here in Brazil, our breeders work with a lot of love and dedication in order to produce what is best in terms of genetics, not only for our country, but for your country as well, to you who are in whatever tropical country around the world. After all, the Brazilian zebu may help you in increasing productivity of beef and dairy in your country. And it's exactly to discuss that topic and tell us more about the novelties in genetics in our country. We brought here today two experts from Alta Genetics. Welcome, Guilherme Marques, the dairy manager for
Thank you.
Brazil, and Rafael Oliveira, the manager of beef, cattle, and zebu.
Hi,
Hello, Rafael,
Izzy.
welcome. You were both at Casa do Zebu, which is your house here, because I know very well about the love that you have for zebu. And they both know a lot about the zebu breeds. I know that they're going to bring the best from Alta Genetics to offer to Brazil and the whole world. Now, I would like to ask you to not fail to mention, especially for our international clients, the importance of following sanitary protocols because the role of a central is not just collecting and commercializing genetic material, but mostly to keep the sanitary safety so that you receive in your country genetic quality with a lot of safety. So now I pass the floor to you so that you can bring all the news to our friend and share them all over the world.
Izzy, thank you very much. Thank you very much, President Cattle and NBCZ, that has provided us the probability to sow the genetic material that we make every single day and all of the process investment that we already made in our central lab so that we can have access to all countries that search or this type of wealth here of the genetic material. And Alta, when it started here in Brazil in 1996, brought a different model. It came to be constructed in a way that could have more accessibility to everyone. Our central lab, or central from 2006, received a visitation from the World Health Animal Organization for us to plan the best way possible for us to start with protocols to be enabled or accredited for so many countries that are looking for our genetic material. And so you can have an idea, we also have the possibility to bring our genetic material to many different countries throughout the world. And we are present everywhere nowadays. And it's no wonder that Alta, since 2008, has been getting the leadership of the national market in the amount of doses that are commercialized. Since 2008, we are in the leadership. We have been in the leadership. I have here Rafael Oliveira, veterinarian doctor and manager in the Zebu breed, and he's going to help us at the farm to find the best cows, looking at the different programs of mating and the assessment programs here in Brazil. So we can have the best animals at the top quality animals that's to be reproduced or bred. My grandpa told me a saying, and he said, "It's easier to have 100 to make 100 good cows and then to have one good breeder bull." And that reflects this reality in a central of donor and breeders that might be one of the hardest things to be done in a farm, right? Half when we today we are in the leadership of the market and in an activity that is very interesting, which is the artificial insemination activity. What can we talk to, what we can tell to the audience here of Brazilian cattle? I say that today to work in a central of insemination, it's one of the largest responsibilities that we might have. because the genetic offer of this breeder is multiplied in many other breeding areas. So the responsibility that we have in a farm to follow this work in the farm and to see the potential in a calf to become a bull, and we for us to take it to the central and to multiply its genetic material and to offer it to our customers, it's a very important responsibility. That's why we follow it since it's a young calf, this animal that arrives in the central area, and we follow the genetic assessment of the main genetic improvement assessments, and we have the partner farmers that of Alta, and in which we visit and we talk to the owners, and we go to the farm. Sometimes we select over 1,000. Out of 1,000 bulls, we select one or two bulls, and we take it to the central, and it goes through all of the processes and tests that the Ministry of Agriculture demands, and then it starts to be part of the center of collection. And it has to go through this lab first so that semen is analyzed by the lab. And after that, it's multiplied in different farms. But it's a work that we do very carefully. And it's good to remember that it's not only because the bull is the first one in a genetic improvement program, it's also important that this genetic material has to work. And the Alta pattern of quality of conception and quality of fertility as well. So that all makes all the difference. It's no use for me to have the best bull if it cannot impregnate my cows, right? So then it's wasted time and you cannot move forward. So when you have quality and you have a standard, in case of Alta, an international standard, we can get there the best way possible. That's why we have the studies with bulls with 30 plus, and both for beef and dairy cattle. They are the best bulls tested in terms of impregnation and of bulls that really work. Okay, and now, Rafa, let's start. Let's talk about a Zebu brand. Has some connection to the Americanized side. So let's see Brahma breed. Breed is the Zebu breed that is spread throughout the world, and Brazilian Brahma is considered one of the best ones in the world. And I usually say that Brazilian breeders are very competent. You have a breed, and he has really good work with it. So the Brazilian Brahma actually is at the top of the quality. There was a lot of selection process focusing on improvement, precociousness, and fertility as well, and weight also for beef. And so that's why it's Brazilian Brahma is going to consider one of the best in the world. Now we're going to start Barolo. He's a reddish Brahma, and we have the combination of Australian and American genetic material. So there is the rustic performance and weight and fertility considered in only one, and that's a good option. The reddish in one of the Brahmas is really considered for exports in terms of the structure and carcass, as well as I used to say, and this combination of an Australian and American genetic material. Fertility, carcass weight, everything DECA 1 through PMGZ, and it's one of the great exemplaries produced here within Brazil of the reddish Brahma. You mentioned PMGZ, and it's worth remembering the importance of the programs of genetic enhancement here in Brazil so we can select breeds, right? It's very important, right? The program has to select a tool of information so you can make the selection. And we also select here for us for every genetic plan. Every farm has a specific area, and according to your goal and according to your farm. And there is a specific farm and every cow we have here. According with this, we have to remember that PMGBZ is very important. Now you have Mr. Ruby POE Paton. right? Yes, 86, a bull that is the gray, now the grayish bull, grayish Brahma, and it was for a lot of breeders, which are Charlie Jazz through 783, his father, and it has the blood of liberty, and I think it has through the maternal lineage, and it has a lot of consistency, a lot of muscle mass and carcass weight, and also maternal ability, and it brings a lot of performance in terms of the weight from his father's grandfather's side, Uji. And another option here of Brahma bulls and mentioned here in the technical knowledge of Rafael, right? And now we go to the next one, Mr. Uber Backup, right? And it's a very important breeder here in Brazil. It brings Achma in the maternal lineage, and it has very two important lineages when considering breed characteristics and carcass weight and muscle mass. Also, that is very important, and it's a bull that is DECA 1 within PMGZ, and not only the maternal characteristics, but the weight characteristics and the fertility and precociousness as well, because they are very sought after these characteristics within Brahma breed. Mr. Ruby Backup 1622. If you want to impregnate very easily females, that's the recommendation for you without losing the weight. It's a combination of Araguaia and maternal line Achma. So performance and gain of weight. Many farms trust and many breeding centers they invest according to our opinion, and they trust our company to bring this genetic material to the rest of the world, right? What is the relationship with all of these partners today? So, Guilherme, we always try to be within the farms that provide bulls for us to understand, especially what is the selection process, the goal going there. They have the tools of genetic enhancement that they're using, so exactly for us to follow their daily work and to provide a bowl, to get a bowl for Alta, and to be able to offer this genetic material for our customers. So after going to our central of donors has gone through a selection process within the farm and the Alta as well. So you can see in each bowl that you have in our company the selection process. And now I'm going to talk about Girleiteiro. Girleiteiro is known today as this way, and this I have a story for this. But in 1967, the Brazilian Association, the Rural Association of Triângulo Mineiro, mentioned it as Girleiteiro, and it was named like this. This was one of the main projects of selections that the Zebu breeders here in Brazil had. And since then, this dairy controls by ABCZ made these programs of genetic improvements to come to existence, and ABCGU, which is a fostering branch of ABCZ, and these programs they identified more and more which ones are the bulls that are superior for the dairy genetic, especially the performance of their progeny and their daughters have this ability of producing milk. And now we're going to mention a group of gileiteiros so you can have an idea. And we're going to start with a young one, Alvo Vivo from Badajoz. And it has a very interesting lineage focused on dairy and focused on through his father, which is Modelo de Brasília, and his mother, one of the most important cows in the market, was a champion here at the exposition park, which is Penha. Penha is a daughter of Tabu, and it's an animal that in the first and the second generation has an appeal of 0% blood relation with jaguar and other bulls. So it's a very beautiful bull, balanced and very good proportions. And it's a bull that it's known by its fertility and versatility as well, and the morphological quality of his daughters. And Alvo has PMGZ milk, which is over 600 kilos of PTA milk. Another bull that I want to mention here is Eurote da Jabaquara. And there was this test this year, right? The PTA milk with his daughters, proving his performance. Euro is a son of Sea Ascensão and Irana. Irana that hit many records in terms of dairy production, milk production. And Euro, besides all of the other successes and he was the first one in the group in 2022 and the third group overall in PMGZ, milk, and ABCG as well. And it's very good in terms of sexual precociousness, fertility as well, and a lot of milk for his daughters. And I also mention here another bull that is very interesting. He is the son of Aidoso, and let's ask Jim Five do Baza. Jim, the son of Aidoso, that has a very clean genetic material of many different and high quality influences in the Gir Leiteiro breed, and its maternal lineage. It has one of the most famous cows nowadays, which is Fábrica Fiva de Brasília, that is the cow with the largest descendants in the top thousand cows of the breed Gileiteiro. And this one, Jim, is the second one in the ranking, and he is considered one of the best Gileiteiros bulls from the country. And you have Jim Euro that we mentioned and Jim Alvo now, and starting this example of Gileiteiro. Three Super Bowls that now we mention to all of you, and we can see the leadership here. Both the leadership in bowls and we have the leadership in altitude, right? And Alta is at the forefront in the zebu beef production, and the Alta has almost 50% of sales here nationally, and it's a market that is very consistent, and Alta is very strong in all zebu breed. And ASBIA is the Brazilian Association of Artificial Insemination Companies. ASBIA is going to count and trade the semen here in Brazil and also made for export. And in export, every 3 doses that we export, 1 belongs to Alta, right? So 1/3 of the export market that comes from Alta Genetics to the rest of the world, everything that is exported. So let's move on. We still have some Brahma here, another Brahma, and then we will continue to the Nelore. This is Vengade do Viraí, and Naviraí is one of the best breeding houses of Nelore here in Brazil, but also has a good work with Brahma breed. And Vengai is the son of Araguai, which that has a lot of maternal ability, and in the lineage, we also have another bull which was very special, Caru. And it's one of the bulls that most attracts attention in Vengai due to the carcass weight and the structure, and especially genetic consistency. And Navira is very careful, and it brings a bull that it's very interesting if you want a grayish fur zebu breed, and that's one of the best ones that Naviraí has, Vengai. And then we have another one from Naviraí, right? But it's not Brahma anymore. Now going to the Nelore breed, we have Taj, which was one of the breeders that stood out the most in Expo Zebu this year. And due to the quality that was offered in the auction in Naviraí within Expo Zebu. So it has a blood lineage through the polo the champion polo, and it has also Lokanji blood. And it's a bull that has many lineages that are the main ones, and the Armador in USP, and it has this opening of lineage, but it also very balanced in genetic material, especially when it comes to female. It has a lot of maternal ability and precocious sexual precociousness, and it has also gain weight, quality, and characteristics, and carcass weight also, and especially the finishing or the people that are after not only the carcass weight but also sexual precociousness might be interested. And if you want to have a breed at pasture in a more extensive or rustic system, especially if you want to in use it in matrices in the pasture, such as Stage. He, he is a very good option in more extensive and using pasture these programs, and now we have a bowl that is really amazing. It's like an explosion, right? Yeah, TNT, right? It comes from Truque, Yellow Brazil, and unfortunately retired last year. And he was one of the best breeders here in Brazil and up to last year. And now we have TNT as another option. And it's a great option because TNT last year was one of the top five sales of matrices and breeders. So you can bring it to the other as Armador bull. And if you want to have precocious and fertile females and high performance males as well, and high yield and carcass weight, and also it has males that have very high performance. Two characteristics that influence directly in the profit of the customer. And it has Certiplus. Certiplus is the bull that has proved superiority in terms of fertility, right? And here in Brazilians, we are very picky and we prefer Alta Genetics. Probably our friends and the audience throughout the world that are watching through ABCZ and Brazilian Cattle will probably choose this best genetic, right? Material, okay? Yes, and now we bring a bit about milk. So Gir Leiteiro mentioned was successful in many places throughout Latin America, Colombia, Bolivia, Ecuador. There are countries that have gileteiro that is very high quality. And now we would like to show you one, which is Ivan Five de Brasilia, the leader of 2019, and the best bull in the ranking of 2019. It's the son of Sansão and Nascente, that is one of the large families, which is the ginger family of Brasilia. And even the test in 2019 was first place. That is the first bull, the best bull of milk that year, dairy bull that year, and within the breeders, and it passes it down to its progeny. And now we have it in a very special phase, and his daughters are already producing a lot of milk in a commercial aspect. That is a very beautiful cows in terms of morphology and the mammal system as well, the mammarian system. It's not very deep. It's a system that is inserted in the body of the animal, and the quality of legs that is the envy of many other bulls. So now we are going to start with another bull that is very famous, but this one doesn't fall down when he plays soccer. It's Neymar Five de Brasilia, right? So he's one of the largest surprises and one of the big bets of the Brasilia farm for next year, 2023. And he is the son of Sansão na Figa, which is and it's a model also, and we also have very good quality from genetic material from this bull. And the cows that descend from him have very nice length of body, but also you have the depth that is very important. So he breeds those cows called powerful cows in terms of morphology, a very good morphology for people who produce milk. And these are very good options that we mentioned here. There are 5 options of G. leiteiro that we have already mentioned. And now we're going to mention another option, which is Girolando. Girolando in the zebu, for us to have this crossbreeding that are taking the world by storm, and we have the ability to export the Girolando breed for everywhere in the country here. And now we're gonna show a bull that Anata Fidalgo, and it's a fifth ace bull, which is descends from Alta Hidalgo, and this is a fifth ace, right? Bull, and it's a cow very famous. His mother, it's a 1/4 of blood. She is called Prendinha. She is the daughter of Gengis Khan in Engenho da Rainha Brena. Therefore, it's a bull that has very good pedigree and genetic basis, and that's why it conserves a PTA milk, especially for by genomic assessment, a GPTA milk of over 1,600 kilos. So it has a lot of quality. It can and comfort. Also, you can trust it, and a very good option for Girolando. And it has daughters that were already born and can be shown. Anata Hidalgo, you can use it in your herd to conserve up to 62 65% of breed makeup. So now let's see the Nelore purple and the spotted also, because Alta has a lot of diversity in terms of bulls. So we brought a very important bull, which is the breeding center CV, one of the birthplaces of this breed. And Comodoro CV is a bull that has a combination of 2 different lineages, the Armador lineage, and that nowadays is one of the best bulls most used in Brazil and probably in the world. And the maternal lineage, it brings Jaguari and Oficial 2, 2 important breeders, considering the Nelore Mocho. And it has this group of both maternal and paternal lineage that is very proven now, and it's one of the best bulls in genetic assessment in Brazil in terms of weight and winning the bull as well. And it has very important characteristics in carcass weight. So when we look at it, we can see that it has a very important, very strong carcass and a lot of fat width. So that is a bull that combines many characteristics. It's no wonder that Comodoro is the father of Central, and it's one of the bulls that commercializes, that is most commercialized, and it also has a 30 plus as well. Now, Camparino Farm. We have Crack Fino Camparino, another option of Nelore Mocho that also has 30 plus, and you can use it because it has very high fertility. And it's a very important breeder, and it comes from Falco, a very important breeder here in Brazil, and in the maternal lineage, Lugarejo, and a bull that brings important breeders in terms of lineage, in weight, and also length of the carcass. And you can see the progeny here, and it's Crack Vive Camparino, that a bull that has a beauty characteristic and other carcass weight. Another partner is Fazenda Matinha, right? Matinha Farm. And we have here, it's one of the best breeding places in Brazil, and especially Nelore V3 and Nelore dotted. And Druso, it's one of the reddish bulls, of reddish dotted bulls that has the partnership, and it has a partnership with donor Ancora that comes from Sherlock, and Dijon. We have here Dijon that can combine the beauty of the spots in its fur and a very beautiful genetic assessment. It's DECA1 within PMGZ for all of the characteristics in terms of maternal ability, precociousness, fertility, and performance and gain of weight. And if you want a bull of this breed that is very beautiful and has very good characteristics, that is a very good option. So we have already seen some of the options in terms of beef cattle for us to have animal protein. Now we're going to move on to milk. And then we have to understand that the history of Alta within Girleiteiro and Girolando is a very ancient history, and it has been at the forefront from the very beginning. And every year there are the summaries of these breeds, both of Gir and also Girolando, and we also have the leaders. And this year we got the first, the second, and the third bowl, first, second, and third of the Gir Leiteiro breed for milk, right? So we have Gin and Euro and Sacá, the three options, the top three in the Gir Leiteiro ranking, both from PMGZ Milk and ABCG and the summary and test of progeny. When we talk about Girolando, it's the same situation. It's the best fifth, eighth, fifth, eighth, 5/8 bull. It's Euro, and also we have and Guerreiro Máxima 2R is already there. There are two options at the leadership, and that generate a lot of credibility when you talk about Gileiteiro breed and Girolando breed here in our country. And that is always open to take the genetic material to any part of the world, as we have already been doing. Now let's continue now, and what can we see here in Girolando? 3/4, that is 75% of breed makeup, Hollandaise breed and or Dutch breed, and Girleiteiro. So we have Apollo Five da Pés, 3/4. It's the son of one of the best American bulls for milk. When you talk about American bulls for milk, which are the over 3,000 pounds of milk, there are very few, and Alta Fagio, his father, is one of these bulls, one of the best five, and the mother is Estelinha Five da Pés. That was a cow and a big champion nationally. It was the world record beater, and we have Apollo with a GPT-8 milk that is over 1,200 kilos of milk, GPT-A milk, and that makes it not only a good bull, but also it produces a lot of milk through his daughters. Another bull that is 3/4 and at the leadership, it's Caruso da Miraí. 2B as well. It's the son of Monterey and the world record breaker that a cow that beat 90 kilos of milk. Caruso is the best one here in the 3/4 group, and it's a born leader that has been commercialized here in Brazil, even being so young. There have been 50,000 doses of his semen to be commercialized, and it can be exported to Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia as well. We have an amazing 3/4 option. You are going to get not only the milk quality, but other very good characteristics too. And here we have another option that is a pure synthetic, the bull Falcão Máxima 2Rs. It's a very, very young bull that is in this ranking now in 2021, and it's the son of Jagunço 4 and a leader of the summary of Girolando 2019 with the cow Máxima Alta Baxter. This cow is the cow of the most production of milk here in the country. It's the first one in the Girolando breed, and she has been for the top one for the 4 past summaries or rankings. There's over 1,600 kilos of GPTA milk, and it's a very good option of pure synthetic in the Girolando breed that we're presenting to you. And here you have Falcão Máxima. It's a very good option that within the Girolando breed group. Now let's change a bit here. Let's continue to Nelore, right, breed. So you see that I have a lighter, and now we're going to get to Nelore, right? Bull. So yes, 1647, it's a bull that has a very good importance in the lineage, which is the Negro lineage for people who are interested in refreshing the blood and new blood. So it's a E1647. It can open blood for Ahmadu and lineage Hambu too. It can open this lineage. So it's very interesting. The Enengruber, and you can see the carcass weight, the genetic assessment that is very well, that has very good performance. And you can see here it's DECA 1 bull in the PMGZ in every economic characteristic: weight, fertility, maternal ability, and also carcass weight, right? All right, and now we have to see another Machinha, right? Estalinho da Machinha, right? Yes, Estalinho da Machinha is a representative of this breeding place, which was the birth of sexual precociousness and feeding efficiency. Luciano Borges is a visionary in terms of selection of the Landlore breed, always using the best tools and genetic enhancement. And Estalinho is a good representative of Machinha and the son of Guarupi and Cal Sarai. And his father was the bull that has the most sons in the central, and he is one of the representatives. He is open for the lineage of Ahmadu and Uspi too, and it has a lot of strength when it comes to producing productive females. And the female cow is the main asset that we have within a farm because it multiplies the genetic of the herd. And Estalinho is a very strong bull for bases because it has high maternal ability, precociousness, and also fertility in genetic assessment, and also has good carcass weight. And the next bull, right, is the one that is the most sought after. Estoril from Machinha, right? Yes, he was the one of the young bulls that most commercialized semen because it has beauty, carcass, beauty characteristics, and pedigree, and genetic assessment. Estoril is a bull that has a very balanced genetic assessment, and it was one of the highlights in the auction of Machinha, and it's especially in terms of the genetic enhancement program because it stands out in many characteristics in the three programs of genetic improvement: PMGZ, Genesis Plus, and other ones. And Storio is a representative of this because it allies beauty, weight, carcass weight, and genetic assessment that is extremely balanced, that can be used in every goal for selection in a Nelore farm for beef cattle. And one of the breeds that we've been working with is Guzera Leiteiro, that is getting more and more adoption and is being more adopted by other places in the world and in Brazil. And that's a leader in the PMGZ Leite, which is 2021, Domino 4. He is the son of Cubito and Dondoca, Humaitá cow. This bull had the largest PTA milk in PMGZ, so it's a very beautiful bull, a very corpulent body, and it's the envy of any other bulls. And due to its family, it has passes it down a lot of milk for his progeny. You can have a good cow and good bull also that produces a lot of milk. And now we're going to the Nelore and one of the big bulls in the group of the Nelore. Here we have Artilheiro Fivec and son of Armadeiro. It's among one of the largest sales of semen, and he is very interesting because there was some awards in Paraguay that were given by his to his progeny, and then we increased a lot of the exports to Bolivia and Paraguay as well, and it's among one of the top sales of if you want a lot of carcass weight and a lot of muscle mass. Artilheiro is definitely one of the best breeders for that, Guilherme. Well, if here in Brazil are the company that was chosen by the Brazilian breeder in terms of acquisition for the best genetic and also the reproductive and breeding services for in Alta, we would like also to join this leading group, always getting the best genetic material and the best services, also the trusting aspect in terms of sanitary aspects and fertility too. You it's only good if you impregnate, and if you impregnate is you're good, right? That's our participation here in the program Brazilian Cattle. So if you want to, let's visit if you have the opportunity, let's visit our place at the exposition park and our center of technology of Alta Genetics.
Gima, I thank you very much. Rafa, thank you for bringing such genetic quality, for being able to show the whole genetics of zebu that we have here in our country and that we're so proud of. The best thing is to know that this genetics will help other countries to increase their productivity in our broader countries here. We all have the ambition to be able to produce more and more with increasing sustainability in order to feed the world. And without genetics, that's not possible. Thank you all very much once again for the trust that you put in the work of Brazilian Cattle, for the partnership. I want you to be always here with us, and I hope everyone goes to visit you in Expogenetica. Now, you who are here at our fair, please visit all the partners of Brazilian Cattle and our international grounds. We have our doors open to receive you there. We have all kinds of companies that may help in incrementing the productivity in your country. So, once again, thank you very much for being here with us, following our lives of the participants of Brazilian Cattle. Your participation is always very important. We are here because of you. So, thank you very much for being here and see you soon.